Okay.
I still have you on hold. Just one moment, please.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to put you through to Chief Welch. 1 second, please.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chief Welch.
Good afternoon, Chief. My name's Davy. I'm with copblock.org, and I'm a freelance writer also out of Rochester, New York. I called earlier today and spoke with, I believe it was Lori, who tried to put me through to you, and I understand you weren't available. I was seeking two things, if you can. Just a brief comment on the arrest of one of your officers, Nicole Kadien, for DWI charges.
Correct.
And also, if you can, or point me in the direction of who may be able to provide this for me, I guess I should start by asking, is the department considering releasing a photo of her?
Well, I can give you what I can at this time. Officer Kadien is a member of the Canandaigua Police Department. She was arrested by the Ontario County Sheriff's Office for driving while intoxicated. I cannot comment on any of the internal matters due to the Section 58 of the Civil Rights Law that prohibits me from commenting on an internal investigation. I can tell you that there is one ongoing. As far as the arrest photos swearing out the arresting agency, I do not have access to them, and I'm not sure if the booking procedure was completed yet. A lot of times, booking procedures are completed after arraignment with the Sheriff's Department, but they would be the one that could best comment on the photo of her if there is one available.
Well, the arrest, I understand what you mean, sir. The arrest photo would be something, obviously, the Ontario County Sheriff's Department would have, is what you mean. But I guess what I mean is I'm not necessarily looking for a mugshot, but at the same time, can the department, short of going through the, available avenues of doing a FOIA request and whatnot,
we don't, as a policy, release photographs of any police officer. There are plenty of avenues that are on public information sites that have officers doing their job, but my office doesn't release photos of officers without their permission.
Right. No. I understand, and that's actually standard policy with most departments that I've experienced. I've had dealings with. But at the same time, it's you got to understand. It's at this point the officer has been charged, and usually when an officer has been charged with a crime, that is something that a lot of agencies release the photo. I mean,
but they release the booking photo. They don't release internal police photos that potentially could be covered by Section 50A. Everything in their personnel file, I'm sure you're aware of it, is protected by that. The only way things can be released from our personnel files through a court order or through other related governmental acts that other agencies that may need to furtherance of an investigation, criminal or not. But to the general public and the media, I'm required by law not to disclose anything contained in her personnel folder that is tied to her competency at work or any other matter pertaining her work habits.
Okay. Now, when you say, Chief Welch, that there's an ongoing investigation, you obviously mean within your department. You guys are conducting an internal investigation.
We certainly police our own. It's on the city's website, on our reports that we post, generally monthly. Sometimes they lag behind, but right on the cover sheet will be a list of the number of internal affairs investigations that the department has conducted year to date. I'm not sure how updated that site is at the moment, but we do obviously for an officer's charged criminally, we're certainly going to do our own internal investigation. We have our own internal rules and regulations that we're guided by, not only that we all are under the auspices of the criminal penal law, vehicle and traffic law, but officers are also held to a higher standard within their own department through the rules and regulations, the general orders of the department, and that's what the internal affairs of that's what the purpose of any internal affairs investigation is, generally based purely on violations of our own internal law, in a layman's term.
Right, right. Do you? Let me ask you a question here. Do you anticipate any conflict of interest with this incident?
No.
Okay. Is it true that that the officer's husband is your PIO officer?
Again, I can't comment anything that may or may not be contained within someone's personnel files. The chief of police certainly does all internal affairs investigations for anything of this magnitude, and our operations commander, which is Lieutenant Scott Ferguson, also co-conducts internal affairs investigations. But anytime an officer is arrested, is certainly handled directly with my office with the assistance of the operations commander.
But who is Chief Welch? Who is your I'm not sure if you guys call him obviously a PIO, a public information officer. Who is your sergeant in your department, sir, that deals with the media and the press? What's his name?
Sergeant Scott Kadien is in charge of our investigative unit, and he generally deals with as the public information officer is one of his duties assigned. It all depends on the circumstances. There's many times that I will deal directly with the media, numerous occasions, and there are generally occasions where the incident is going to gain momentum or be in the public's interest that they need to hear directly from the chief's office.
But I guess my point with the conflict of interest statement I referred to is Sergeant Kadien is Officer Kadien's husband. Isn't that so?
Again, I'm not going to comment any way you ask me on the marital status of any of my officers. I can tell you across the entire country, there are many police officers that are married within departments. There are many officers that are supervised by other relatives or spouses. I can't speak for other departments, but within my department, we have internal mechanisms in place to deal with potential conflicts of interest, like any other department does. It's not that uncommon to have officers that are married to one another within a department, and it certainly has no bearing on the criminal case, and it certainly wouldn't have any bearing on an internal case, because I couldn't think of any department that would ever assign another spouse to investigate another spouse for an internal matter, again, generally speaking, because I cannot comment on the officer's personnel files, whether it be Scott Kadien's or Nicole Kadien's.
No, I understand, Chief. I appreciate your time. The last question I guess I have for you, sir, is the charges obviously will be handled in a court of law, and that's what our judicial system is about. She's charged, she's been arrested, she's been charged, and obviously that will make its way through the court system. That aside, as the chief of the Canandaigua Police, I mean, you certainly can't be happy with with one of your officers, basically being arrested and charged with DWI. I mean, what are your feelings on that?
Well, I think your question is self-answering. Obviously, I'm disappointed in the officer's action, but again, I'm disappointed many times throughout my 10 years chief when my officers make unwise decisions. And again, that's why we have, every department does, I'm assuming, we're a state-accredited department. We have certain state standards that we follow, and one specifically regarding policing our own internally. So, obviously the question is, the answer is that I'm disappointed in what occurred, and that's why the department has our rules and regulations in place to deal with these things. Things aren't dealt with arbitrarily. This police department, we already have rules in place with specified potential consequences for different acts that a member of this department may undertake, whether on or off duty. They are held to a higher standard, and this case is no different.
I appreciate it, Chief, and thank you for taking my call and for your time, and I'll be honest, for your professionalism. It's something that I believe is missing a lot sometimes in law enforcement. So I really appreciate it, and I'm gonna reach out to the Ontario County Sheriff's Office about that photo, and again, I thank you, sir, for your time.
Yep, thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.